Hey there, welcome to this week's episode of 180 and 180. I'm Bill Wallace, and today I wanted to talk to you about something that might be just a little bit scary. You see, yesterday was Halloween, and I hope that you had a great time and that you dressed up and got some candy and maybe did something that was a little bit scary. But today, actually, I want to talk about something that might be one of the scariest things for us to do in our day today, and that is to stand up and stand out for something that we believe in. You see, yesterday wasn't just Halloween, it was actually the anniversary of the Reformation. And if you didn't grow up in the Christian church, or maybe specifically the Lutheran Christian church, the Reformation was exactly that. It was the reform of the great Christian church from 1517 and leading up to even our day today. See, what happened is a young man named Martin Luther went up to a church door in Wittenberg, Germany, and nailed to that door these 95 complaints that he had against the Catholic Church at the time. And this was kind of his public way of protesting these things and trying to change them. See, that was the thing. He believed in the church and he believed in the Bible that he'd been reading, and he saw these things that just didn't fit anymore. And so here he is, a young Catholic monk. His livelihood is based on this church. Really, in many ways, his life ends up being based on this church that has so much power and authority in that time. But he knew he had to stand up and stand out for what he believed in, because what he saw in the Bible and what he saw in the church just weren't the same thing. So he does this incredibly scary thing of putting himself out there and saying, hey, we need to change these things. We need to reform these things. All of this needs to happen, and I'm going to be the one that stands up and starts it so. And so, Halloween night in 1517, from that moment on, literally the world changes. The Catholic Church, there's a lot of conflict and a lot of fighting, a lot of threats. But what ends up happening eventually, the Catholic Church does change. New churches are formed, the Lutheran Church and the Baptist Church and the Presbyterian Church and the Methodist Church and all these different churches that you probably know about. They can all trace their roots back to this one event from 500 years ago. It's an incredible, remarkable thing. So I'm sure there's something going on in your life right now where it's a little scary to think about standing up and standing out for something that you believe in, something that you think might need to change, something that might need to be said, something that might cost you something. In this world that we live, where standing up and standing out actually isn't always rewarded. But I really encourage you to do something a little bit scary. Not whatever you did for Halloween, but to stand up and stand out for something you believe in. It might not change the world, no, but it might change the world for you. And that's a pretty incredible thing. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next week.